Hello and welcome back to Girls in the Grandstand. We are back with our first episode of the new season. We was in Australia. I was the only one, except for Kelly, who isn't here today, that got up for it. It was painful. That was way too early to get up for a race. I'd never, ever want to do that again. But it was a good race. No, it was exciting, so we're going to talk about that. But first of all, how did everyone find that race? How did they think the first race went?
I think the best way
It-
to describe it is chaos.
yeah, definitely. Pure chaos.
Just it was so stressful.
Yeah. It was just mad. Like I've never seen so much rain in Australia before. Didn't even think it rained there at all until it was wild. Because I woke up, my alarm went off like 4:45. Woke up and I saw the F2 was cancelled. So I was like, oh my God, are they really gonna like stop the F1? But it seemed to have calmed down a little bit by the time they got to F1, but it was still bad. Like it was bad rain. I was just like, oh my God, I can't deal with red flags. The red flag, I'm going back to bed. I don't care.
Like Australia just saved up all the rain from the year just for that one day,
Yeah,
just for the race, the F2
yeah,
and the F1. They're like, let's just have it all now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, painful. My heart went out for poor Hadjar.
Oh, don't. I was
That
literally, I was in tears. I was genuinely in tears for the man. Like, to have your first race and then crash on the formation lap, I felt so bad for him because obviously he is a Red Bull junior. We all know how Red Bull are. So I think the pressure of being a Red Bull junior, being at your first race in Australia and then crashing on Formation Lab, I think it was just all too much for him and he lost it. And fair enough to him because not that many times do you see actual F1 drivers cry like that, and it shows that he has emotion, and it's okay for him to show that emotion because it shows that he cares about what he's doing and what this job entails. So I think for him, I think it was great that Lewis Hamilton's dad was right there, ready to give him a hug. I think that would have meant the world as a Lewis Hamilton super fan. I sat there, I was like, oh my God.
I know, I was just sitting there like in tears watching this, going, "Oh my God!" By the way, can I just say quickly as well, the difference between Anthony Hamilton and
Mm,
Helmut Marko.
yes.
Honestly, was ready to throw my phone across the room when I seen
Oh,
Helmut Marko call it. What was the exact term he used again? It was embarrassing. That was the term he used. He called it. I'm sorry. In what world is a 20-year-old crying because he's reached his dream
mm,
and he's granted he's messed up, right? No one could have expected the rain
no,
to be that bad with
no.
Australia. Even the more seasoned drivers struggled with it, as we've seen
Yeah,
with Alonso and we've seen with Carlos.
yeah,
This is not, I mean, we even seen it with Oscar. Like, that was his home race, his home turf. He knows that track a lot
yeah,
better than a lot of the drivers probably do. And he still managed to make a mistake. Like, you
yeah.
cannot blame any of the rookies for making a
No,
mistake during the race
no.
at all. For Helmut Marko to say that is just absolutely disgraceful for Red Bulls in entirety because you want your rookies to be able to grow and make mistakes.
Yeah.
You also want the drivers to be able to share the emotions, and I feel
Mm,
as though with the comment that was made, that could restrict the drivers to wanting to share things like that because at the end of the day, quite a few people do see these drivers as like robots.
yeah,
They're driving and that's it. But to actually see like as what would be like the human side of them and showing the emotion, it is what like I'm not saying that you want to see them crying because you never want to see them
no,
crying, but you want to see them expressing the emotion that
yeah,
it just shows how much this means to Isaac and how much he's put into it, and then for it to just be gone, it's like he had every right to show the emotion that he
yeah,
did, and fair play
absolutely.
to Hamilton
Yeah,
for giving him a hug. I think everyone wanted to give Isaac Hadjar a hug at that
I
point.
know. I'm sort of like, right, that's it. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going over there, giving a hug myself if I have to. Like, we'll get over there.
Honestly.
I just felt so bad with the amount of cameras that just kept getting shoved in his
Yeah,
and Jack's
just
faces. I was like, oh my
just
God, give
leave them
these boys
alone.
some
Like
space.
they've obviously
It,
crashed out. They obviously feel bad enough. Like they don't need a camera in their faces right now. Just leave them alone.
it was Jack's face anytime they just put a camera right in. He was just like so like
I
please
don't know what to
stop
do
doing
here.
this.
I'll just stand here silently. It's fine.
It's like, yep, this has happened. Please don't keep making fun of us.
Alex Albon in the points again.
Yeah,
I was so happy. It was sad for Carlos. I mean, like your first
Yeah.
race with Williams. To be heading into Australia, I had massive PTSD and just every emotion possible, as we know what happened last year with
Yeah.
them having no spare car or chassis or whatever. So for Alex Albon to be able to redeem himself this weekend, um, in the race and get the points, and he did have a very strong race. I was
Yeah.
a bit gutted when we saw him drop from 4 to 5 because I did predict him as
Mm.
4, but
Yeah.
I mean, Kimi, incredible, and he deserved fourth with everything. Like, what an incredibly talented driver he is. Like, first race, and you're there sitting in P4, and it was like George in third as well. So it just shows how good that Mercedes
Mm.
is looking. And with two very strong drivers, that could be a very dangerous pairing this season.
Yeah. I think Kimmy did an excellent job for his first race. I was watching him like that kid's going places. Like if he carries on driving like that, he's probably going to be a champion in the next 5 or so years, I'd say, because he's just incredible. And I think it makes it better that he's such a nice guy as well. Like he just seems so nice. The fact that he brought his little sister to the track and she was there with him, I think that makes it even more a little bit more special for him to be able to bring his family there and sit there and be like, okay, I got P4 in my first race. Like only two rookies actually survived that race. So for that, that's incredible for Kimmy.
Oh, absolutely. I just think Kimmy just blew so many people out of the water with that race. And I'll hold my hands up. I said it last week on the podcast. I thought he was far too young. I
Mm.
was really nervous for how he was going to do, but I have been happily stood corrected
Yeah,
in that opinion. And I'll hold my hands up and go, I knew he was going to, I hoped he was going to be good. I was
mm,
just so scared that he was too young for it, but he seems to be totally proving everybody who felt the same way I did completely
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. He has done incredibly well, and I really hope he holds on to that now and goes into China and is thinking, all right, I've got P4. I have to get a podium this year. Like he's got to be in some sort of mind frame and thinking, okay, maybe I could do it because the Red Bull doesn't look that good. It's looking a bit nasty for Max at the minute. Obviously Liam crashed out again, weather permitting. It was one of them. It was just one of them. And I do feel bad for him because they should have pitted him way, way earlier than they did. They left him out there way too long on them. But watching Max, it just doesn't seem like he's got the car to be up there. And McLaren are 100% the team to watch out for, I think, this season.
I was slightly scared when, obviously, after the formation lap, because you seen Max, Oscar, and Lando in a three abreast, and I was terrified for what was going to
Yeah.
happen. But I was quite shocked to see Max struggle against the two of them after a bit.
Mm.
And then them take, I think it was a 10-second lead Lando took at one point,
Yeah.
which that is very interesting to see how this season's going to go, like you said, because I love McLaren. I'm really excited to see what they do this season. And yeah, it's refreshing to be able to see different cars
Mm.
taking leads as well, because from 2021 it has kind of been like Red Bull dominated.
Yeah.
It was like 2021 was like the kind of end of Mercedes going into Red Bull domination. And it's kind of nice to see a bit more of what we seen last season again with, because we did see a lot of different leaders with that race. Yesterday, we seen a lot of different people chopping and changing positions. And I really hope we get to see what we got last season again, hopefully just with more differentiation with the winners.
If all of our predictions come out of the unexpected winner, I think we're in for a treat of a season. Get
Yeah,
Alex
yeah,
Albon on the top step
yeah.
of that podium.
Alex Allen will be on that podium this year. He will get it.
I think
Even
we
if he
just
doesn't
all
win, even if he doesn't win, just let him stand on it. Like at
Yeah, just
Silverstone,
let him
when I'm
stand on
there,
it.
let me have my moment of having Alex Albon on the podium.
Yeah.
I think mine was Ollie, which after watching Haas, I don't think's too promising. Love Ollie, but
Yeah.
that Haas is not looking great this
No,
season.
no,
No,
it's
no.
not looking good right now. Not at all.
Maybe maybe if they done like a reverse podium.
Yeah, switch it up a little bit.
I'd have been in my element if they did that last season. How many podiums would I have got with Logan?
Yeah, every week he's on the podium.
DNF becomes driver of the day.
Yeah.
Um, by the way,
Oh.
just to add on to what Rebecca was saying earlier, but Alex, can we just note the switch up in race engine and race techniques provided by Carlos for Alex?
I love that Carlos was right
That
there. Even though he crashed out, I love that he was there helping Alex. I just think it shows that he's such a special team at Williams that he could have easily just gone and got changed and gone back to the hotel or gone home, but he stayed there and he helped Alex. And I think that just shows what a team William is.
it just shows how like caring Carlos is as well as a
Yeah.
person that he has chosen to. He's obviously crashed out. He, like you said, had the opportunity to just do his media, go back to the hotel, but he's like, no, no, I want to help my team now, and I thought that was really, really nice to watch.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
was.
like that is something that we have been missing at Williams.
Mm.
Like I have like I will never say anything bad about Logan or Franco. Like I love the pairing of them with Alex, but I feel as though Alex needed a Carlos with him because Alex has always been the one that's had to take the rookie
Yeah.
under his wing in like recent years with Williams. But now to have Carlos there backing him up and helping him, I do feel as though we are going to see an even better Alex Albon to what we've seen in past years. And I mean, if Carlos ever crashes out again, we know that Alex has another race engineer on the other side.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The
Also,
Oh, can we talk about Hulkenberg and the fact that Stake have already outscored their whole entire points of last season with one race?
really?
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't
Did
score
it get
any
That is
points last season, did
amazing.
they?
That is
I love,
incredible.
honestly, I love it, and I think Nico looks so good in them colours as well. I just have to say that, like, I think that state colour is his colour. Like when he was doing the interviews, I was just like, wow, that colour really suits you. I was just like, it actually looks good, but I think Stake are looking a lot better than they were last year, this year. So I think that's another team you've got to watch out for as well. I think the constructors is going to be incredibly tight this year, I think.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are like trialing and testing a lot of new things, and it seems to be working in a lot of teams' favours as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
definitely.
definitely. I mean,
I
especially
think,
like with Hulkenberg and Stake, I mean, we all saw the car that they had last year. It
Yeah.
just wasn't drivable.
No.
Like
no,
it wasn't there for them. So for Hulkenberg to step into a new team as well, he's got the backing of the team and to be able to go out and get the 6 points and already, like as I said, outscore last season, it is huge. And I feel as though like the midfield of the constructors of like your Williams, your Stakes are going to be in there, Alpine, Gasly just like one spot outside of the top 10. Like them three teams in the constructors are going to have a fight on their hands.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be, even though we're only one race in, I think it's going to be a very, very exciting season this year. I think we're going to get a few different race winners. The constructors is going to keep dropping and changing, I think, because as we go to these harder tracks, a lot of drivers and rookies haven't done them before. So it's going to be hard for them to understand the racetrack. And I think it's going to be a very interesting season.
absolutely. Also, I feel like we need to create a new segment for this podcast of funniest radios because oh my God, there were so many. Can we
Oh,
just know my favorite one, right? I have to say was Charles saying the car is full of water. race engineer going, "Oh, that's probably the water." And he goes, "Well, that's going in the Book of Wisdom."
Honestly, Ferrari, I don't even know what to say about them anymore. Like, they're just something special. Like, I don't know
Honestly,
what they drink or what they do, but something's in their water for sure. Like, it's not normal.
my dad and I were discussing it as it got said, and my dad went, "How is it that the guy who's driving at 300 kilometers an hour is coming away with better lines than the guy who's sat at a pit wall staring at a screen?"
I was gonna say
Like that's so accurate.
how he's got like the attention span of being able to drive that quick, but then also come out with the more sarcastic lines like, I can't even walk and talk at the same
Yeah,
time, never mind drive and think of something like that.
yeah.
Honestly, like
It's just wild.
when I'm driving, I feel like my brain is just Homer with the monkey crashing the symbols together. I was like, my brain is just dead. I don't know how
Yeah,
he can do that.
yeah. But no, Ferrari are not looking great.
No,
Feel a bit bad for Lewis Hamilton, to be honest. He
yeah,
deserved a little bit better from that race. I feel he wasn't very happy about where he was after um, a certain stop. So we'll see how they come back in China. But I have a feeling Lewis wasn't quiet in that debriefing room afterwards.
do not think so either. Also, Lewis being the first one to swear on the radio
Yeah,
in race season.
yeah. I did not expect it to be Lewis at all. Not one bit did I
No.
think. I thought it would have been Max or Lando maybe, but Lando was pretty well behaved on the radio, to be fair, this week. He didn't talk back to his race engineer for once, so that's positive. That's positive.
I just loved how they asked the grid, who do you think it will be? And unanimously, it was Max and Yuki.
Yeah.
And a couple little Isaacs were thrown in there.
Yeah. I mean, Isaac didn't get to start the race, so
Yeah.
maybe that's why he did do it, but we'll see in China if anything comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. I've saved my most heartbreaking bit for last that I want to discuss. Oscar.
Oh, I felt when I saw him go off, I was like, I wasn't paying attention because I was texting my friend at the same time, and her internet had just gone off, so she just literally missed it. So I had to be like, oh my God, this has just happened, this has just happened. And I saw him in the grass, and I was like, did the McLarens just touch each other? Because obviously they were fighting.
Yeah.
I was like, did they touch? And then I see Oscar just bedded in the grass, and I was like, get that car out that grass, get the car out the grass, back on that
I,
track. And he pushed it like there was no tomorrow to get that car back on the track because obviously he
I
did not want to go out in his home Grand Prix.
I honestly crumpled to the floor. Like I was like hiding. I was just like, I can't look at this because this was a race where I was considering that he was going to win. And then for 90 that was the longest 90 seconds of my life. I I honestly for him to even get home to P9, I had to check my phone
Mm,
there because I have got it saved in my like on my widgets. He got to P9 from that is still an incredible drive for
yeah,
him.
yeah, 100%. I think he did really, really well to recover it. I think the shots afterwards of obviously Lando with the trophy and then Oscar's just there really sad. It's not something you want to see, not for someone that's got a home Grand Prix. I think it's that extra bit special when you know you've got fans there cheering for you. I think it was a difficult one for him for sure.
I did love seeing like every fan in that grandstand, no matter what team colour they were wearing, was rooting for Oscar to get out of that
Yeah,
position because at the end of the day, like regardless of whether whether they're Australian or they've travelled there for it, to have that community backing you, I feel like we're seeing such a change in the F1 fan base lately of like it's a lot more united.
yeah,
And I'm really, really enjoying seeing that because you've had so many incidents in the past with like different teams support and different
mm,
fans supporting, and you've had horror stories, but to see stuff like this is just really, really nice to see like
yeah,
this banding together for people. It's
yeah,
really nice to see.
yeah.
One thing that I remembered to mention was the curse of Australia winning.
Oh no,
yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
because it's
I've seen
been
that everywhere.
3 times this has happened because it was Carlos that won Australia most recently.
Yeah,
He crashed this time. Then it was like Max the season before. Max crashed. It was one before that.
Charles.
Charles. So could Lando break the curse next year? I know I'm already thinking about next year when we've still got a whole season to go. But it's another curse that could potentially happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm excited to see if the Bahrain curse sticks as well this season.
yeah.
How many of these tracks are cursed at this point, by the way?
Oh,
I've
I
lost
think they
count.
all are, to be fair. At some stage, I think they all are.
Is it
It's
Monza that's also
crazy.
cursed?
I think so,
Is
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you win Monza, you usually don't. You quite either like crash or don't start the next year after, I'm pretty sure.
Who won? It was Charles that won it this season.
Yeah, I think did Charles win it? Yeah, Charles won it last year, so
Charles or Max, because I know Charles won one and Max won the other.
yeah,
I think Charles won Monza.
yeah, I think so. I can't remember that far back.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've literally got Google open right here, so I'm like trying
All,
quickly.
all the races merged into
Charles,
one
yeah.
last season, just with how chaotic they
Yeah,
all were. I was like, I
yeah.
can't remember.
I can't remember what
Honestly,
happened at all.
fun fact, that was also Colapinto's debut race.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That
The
also just
one,
came up.
the one I remember is just his debut. Just his debut.
Because it just came up. Charles Leclerc won this race and Colapinto's debut. Oh yeah, I honestly could not have told you when his debut was.
No, definitely not.
I'm shocked that Drive to Survive also left that out.
Yeah, they
That
didn't
was
really
quite
have
shocking to
anything of
me.
that. No, I
I was a
didn't
bit like,
see. Yeah, I didn't see Alpine's podium finish on Drive to Survive either. That was left out
yeah,
as well, which is quite surprising. But I
I
guess
was
they only want to show what they want to show.
I was joking with my dad that Drive to Survive done our podcast special with the with George's win.
Oh
They
God.
didn't mention a disqualification, and the only reason we didn't is because we finished a podcast just before it got announced. And then Drive to Survive just left it out. I was like, I know we left it out, but that's purely because we finished the filming right as
Yeah,
it got announced.
yeah. Literally just as it got announced, I laughed.
I know, because I remember Kel texted us and was like, please tell me you're still on, like this has just happened. Like, we literally just
No,
wrapped.
no, no, it didn't happen.
Oh, I've just realised as I've said that Rebecca's wearing a George top.
Carry on. Yeah.
It's just a 63 o'clock there.
Yeah.
But no, I think it
But
was sorry.
in honor of his third, I felt like I had to wear the George Russell top.
Yeah,
I do think it was an amazing race. So
yeah,
for Australia, it was a very, very good race to watch.
yeah. It was a good first race to start the season because anything can happen now in China. Like you generally don't know what's going to happen now this weekend. Like anyone could win it at this point. Like it's wide open, I think, and it's going to be a special one, I think. But we'll see. And yeah, we'll see what happens in China. Another early one. Um,
Sprint race as well, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that
sprint race this weekend, which is also that's going to be challenging for the rookies as well, because obviously most of them haven't done sprint race yet, so that should be something special. And then obviously you've got the main race on Sunday, so we'll see what happens, but hopefully it'll be another exciting race.
Yeah. I do think the F2 can massively help with this because of the setup of the sprint races, but
Yeah,
completely different in terms of I still think we should bring reverse grid into F1.
yeah,
Like with
100%. Yeah,
F2 and F3, please can we have reverse grid? Because
yeah,
how chaotic would that be? It
yeah,
doesn't have to be like 1 to 20. Do 1 to 10 if that's
yeah,
what works best. Although 1 to 20 would be incredible.
yeah, it really was. I'd be like, Liam,
imagine
stay back, stay at the back.
imagine that
Watch out.
last season, Logan leading it. Honestly, I would have
Oh,
paid big money to see that, just to see what would happen. That is all.
Depending on what did happen, I think I'd have turned it off after lap one. I'd be like, right, I've seen him win. I'm right.
Yeah.
He's led one lap. We're good. I'm done.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But no, we'll be back probably Sunday with our review of China. Let's see if it's as chaotic as Australia was. So we will see you then. We'll be covering obviously the sprint and the main race as well. But we will see you there. Until next time. Bye bye.